Hello, hello. Checking the sound. Checking the sound. All right, we have sound. Good morning. Cool. I got to get the coffee going. Got to brew the coffee. Good morning, good morning. I guess this dude that I mixed for it, now he's got the theme show for the stream. I guess I better tell him. Good morning. Starting in a couple of minutes. Hello, hello. It helps if you turn the volume up. Okay. Is it low? That's probably as loud as I can get it anyway. Should be fairly loud as far as my voice. The music is low. Yeah, it should be low. Coffee brewing.
Got your eyes open
We're almost there. I'll start in 1 minute.
I know you feel it all inside now. Hey man, you got your heart on your sleeve. There's so much underneath. I know you hear the beat now. Hey man, have you listened to the trees? The whisper in the leaves, the wisdom that they speak, it goes like I know you hear the song, it goes like they've been playing it all along, waiting for you. Been playing it all along, waiting for you.
All right.
It goes like
Let's get going. Where's my popper stopper? Tuesday, February 16th. 2021. The Matrix is malfunctioning. Very light news day. So it's all light impact stuff today with news. 2 hours Euro stuff. 2 hours from now. Unemployment change, GDP. Sounds kind of big, but it's listed as light impact. Then we have a U.S. session. Again, all light stuff today. Manufacturing index at the usual time in 5 hours-ish. What else today? Pound stuff during U.S. session. Really not much. News for Australia into U.S. session and the pound. But they're both light. FOMC speaks, that's 11 o'clock New York time, and then also another speech at 3 p.m. Those are listed as light impact as well. They might have some sort of impact on the U.S. dollar or create some volatility a little more than usual later in the day. In 12 hours from now, when it's usually starting to chill out, there might be a little extra activity on those speeches, especially with the U.S. dollar, but no major news. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. Let me see the rest of the week. What are we at? Second week? Third week? Third week of the month. I like the third week of the month. Tomorrow's the big U.S. news, retail sales. Australia unemployment. Thursday, unemployment claims U.S. And then Friday is Euro Day. Euro and pound stuff is Friday. Okay. So, tomorrow some big U.S. stuff. And light news today. To the charts. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it may be. By you. much clutter. Clutter. Did you hear that? All right, so I got to get caught up. Caught up on the charts. Let us reset. Angly. So what are we doing today? Buying? We're just hanging out at the high. Typically means it ain't over yet. Not much of a retracement going on lately. We're just hanging out up there. Huh? Let's see. Pound pulled back. Very little weakness in this uptrend still. I'm surprised this uptrend's gone. This bullish environment has been going on this long. It usually doesn't last this long, is all I'm saying. I figured by the end, well, actually, you know what? It hasn't been that long. It was just that we started seeing weakness last week to some extent, and then we just saw more buyers. It came down off weakness and then just saw more buyers, right? That was sort of the case. You see something like this, typically you say, okay, it's time to short. And if you did, maybe that worked out. But then you had some buying, and we're back up here not seeing much selling. So the supply-demand balance kind of shifted back to bullish here. It doesn't erase that there was profit taking and selling after the initial move there. But typically you get some sort of reversal after something like that, right? We just hit too much buying. Yeah, at this point. Well, we did pull back, but it was kind of limited. Not really a fib, is it? No. It happens. Buyers are excited. I'm not even going to worry about what's to the left right now. I can always check that after. But just to get the overview, obviously we have weak U.S. dollar still. And looking to buy. And luckily some of these are coming down, pound dollar. Let's see what we're looking at here. I'm sure a lot of you already have this marked up. I'm getting caught up with you. Of course, London open. But volume spike where we want to see high volume. But this was, if the thing gets out of the way, 15 minutes before London open. And the volume relative to the recent range was quite high. It just looks really low now that we're getting into the real deal session. Hopefully this can clean up because this would be a spot where a lot of you know where I would consider a long entry in this situation. It's nice to see that the high didn't have much supply and we didn't do a complete thorough analysis, but we already know. But of course we have the volume spikes now, so that's always a pain in the butt when you're right in a spot where you may be looking to get into a trade if it sets up right, and then you have London open volume spike and craziness and this kind of candle. So, but that's 10 minutes in, so let's see what it does. Let's see if we can settle down. This covered like test area on both sides, didn't it? As far as testing for supply and demand, so we can get in there in the 1 minute. About price areas on time frames. 1 minute says a lot of buying. Ooh, and a lot of selling. It's just very active right here in both directions. Obviously, high volume and a result of this kind is, okay, it's a lot of buying. But then this candle here is small. And that has the highest volume. You may have similar, maybe not exactly the same, but similar, where these two should be high volume, likely on your platform. But this is a small candle. So buying and selling both very active for whatever reason. I'll let it chill out for a second. But we just happen to be in an area that we would look for a setup. So if things could confirm that, that would be nice. Strength down here, lack of supply up here. If we're just going to run off, then I'll see what I want to do about that. So we are bullish against the U.S. dollar. And of course, not just fib areas. We'll be thorough and mark up whatever we have. We could get lucky and come down, maybe, before we go up. This might be asking for too much. But we have a support yesterday's low. So really, something like that would be fine with me. As far as the ideal spots, starting with, I don't even have to look at the 5 minute. We already know. You're hanging out here at low volume. That's all you got to know. Most recent high volume point is strength. And then the low volume off the high prices shows lack of weakness. So we're still very, very bullish. It's like we got to the top of a trend and then we started behaving like we were at the bottom of a reversal or something. What am I hitting? The wrong buttons. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Every possible one. Okay. Best thing for this to do is to give us some regular, usual price action stuff in this area to confirm the long setup. And that would be fine with me. See if it can clean up before it takes off, if it wants to do that. Again, very bullish. It's so simple here. It's weak US dollar. Let's see the dollar index. Bye-bye. I heard a very interesting theory for the podcast segment of this. That's a nice old fib there from December. I heard a very interesting theory about currency, fiat currency, and cryptos, and the plan. It's nothing you didn't hear, but this guy was kind of informed here. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. The weak dollar made me think of it. And we'll get to the yen, but let's mark up a little more and get thorough. Did we do this? Okay. Yesterday's low. That's a nice little support resistance spot. I'm sure we're going to hit buyers here. Or at least I'm sure it's going to be a very telling, informative spot about buyers. And a fake break, or even just to test to that level. And a setup would be nice. I had to make this bigger. Now I got to have... All right, hold on. Did I mess that up? Yeah, I did. So it is that simple in this case. Any questions why we're going along in those pairs, let me know, but I think you all know that. Next, is the yen also weak and we're just simply correlated looking for longs? Yes. Oh, we're back to this. I like this. This is my favorite. The dollar and the yen are very similar. They're both weak. They're not opposites anymore. Well, it looks like the yen was actually weaker than the US dollar for a little while, last few days. Yesterday, Friday. Interesting. But they're both weak. Relative to each other, the yen is weaker. That's why the US dollar moved up the last couple of days. Last couple of days, the yen is weaker, but they're both weak as far as everything, bullish against them. And that's what's driving things. So we're back to that very simple understanding of things. SRPs? Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah. I'll see if I can actually find the guy talking about it and just send it to you guys. I mean, we could, I'll tell you the short version, but if you want to hear it, I'll send it to you. But it's about, replacing the whole financial system with cryptos. What? Let's go. This is what it's like. It goes back to what you originally thought when they came out. It was like, all right, this decentralized, you can't manipulate it. It's not infinite. You can't print it out of nowhere. it's back to what money was supposed to be. Private citizens can do whatever they want. It's private transactions, and then it got all muddied up with people talking about it's this, it's that, it's Illuminati, it's this. Come on. Sorry, let me continue here. But I mean, I think a lot of people realized in the last few years, 3-4 years, well, some people were ahead of the curve, that decentralizing things is a way to maintain certain freedom. We don't need a central command and control for humanity in any way. So it always works out bad, right? All right. These global organizations, terrible, just terrible. The UN. So very bullish here, very bullish. I don't even care about that fib. It's just like, we're setting up. Overshoot, double bottom, fake break, whatever. It's gonna be long. So we'll see if, in this case, we didn't get a low volume test. Right? We have a usual pattern of strength, lack of supply, not too much there, and then strength again off the low. But then we get into London Open, and volume's going to be high anyway, no matter what. Right when we want to see low volume, so we don't get to test properly. So to fix that would be to get through there and see that drop in volume. Then I may put a position on that. How high up are we? Yeah. Not terrible, right? Lots of correlation. I like it. So when you get these cases where everything's just so similar, ideally what I'm looking for in a trade is, for an entry, is not just one pair to say it looks like it's ready to go, or not just one pair to confirm. Well, one pair has to confirm. But because of these moves, is going to make, if there's a setup on the euro dollar, there's going to be setups on others, or at least similar pattern, similar information. And generally, you want to see that it's go time. Down with the US dollar and the yen. And the market is making its move to continue that. That's really the driving force, Rather than suddenly a strong Australian dollar that has nothing to do with anything else. Not quite the ideal. We want to see that is that weak US dollar, weak yen situation starting to play out. Because that's what's driving everything. But let's see. Some of these might go from here. Again, London Open spike messes up the deal. Let's see if it can clean up. I don't even care what level that is. Get my stop below here. Well, I'm not going to rush into anything. Let's see. So they dropped during, so we're very bullish, but we dropped during the early hours, and then it got bought into, double bottom, really clear, pretty aggressive buying for that time of day. Right? That's a lot of volume for that time of day. I guess it does that sometimes. Lately. I don't know. Typically, you have a very quiet period here. Yeah, here's yesterday at the same time, right? See 7:30. This is yesterday, And then here, as it came down, look at all that buying for that time of day. That's like middle of the day volume, right? And then the double bottom fake break pattern with buying again. So they're certainly positioning pretty aggressively long still. We just want to make sure the supply is low. Getting squashed here means wait. And again, it'll be helpful to see them all kind of confirm to some extent together. Not all, but at least a few. Those spikes just mess up your analysis, trying to be in the moment of what's happening right now. Like you're just working off of spikes. What's the strongest here? Yeah, that could be showing weakness, weaker pound than Australian dollar. Could come back to the Australian dollar, my favorite, my buddy. Let's see what AJ is going to do on this attempt to move up. Wow, euro dollar's just going, huh? I'll go in early, but it still needs to be right. It's gonna have this London volume crap in it, so it's only so right it's gonna be. You like the AJ trade there, Dean? Yeah. That's what I was talking about, the utility of the cryptos last session. Oh. Yeah. Pound yen, it's like they're all probably going to do the same thing. Yeah, I like the low volume dropping off there, definitely. And again, the yen has been weaker, so I'm leaning towards buying against the yen. So yeah, possibly. If you compare the pound and the Australian dollar, you see weakness, right? Just to try to help decide. This, again, we can't trust. It's London open spike. But weakness on the pound versus the Australian dollar means potentially stronger Australian dollar. So potentially the AJ. And this is now still too high volume for me to get in long there, right? As a lot of you know, as a push-through candle, it actually closed near the high, which is nice. But now we're really up here in this area where we want to see low volume to confirm an entry here, right? And that's certainly not low volume. So I give it a second. Again, they should all look like it's go time. But yeah, I might go with the yens. Because again, you compare the dollar and the yen. The dollar's moving up finally against somebody. It's the yen. That's how weak the yen is. If the dollar can move up against it. You'll see the dollar and the CAD. Yeah, that's more like it. So the yen is very weak. AJ is kind of the obvious choice, but it doesn't mean it has to be that. And this is not bad, but it's close to the high. It technically looks like the same thing, doesn't it? It just feels closer to the high. It is in the pattern. They're going to do the same thing. Most likely. Well, if they both confirm, I'll go with the AJ. Typically, like this is automatic rally, and it's going to be a test area going forward. But this 14 EMA did stop the price and create a thing. So, and now we're above it. If we can be above this 14 EMA and low volume, and above this swing point, I'm considering that an entry, which will probably bring it to this spot very quickly, and then we'll have to test. So if this candle drops in volume, ideally it's lower than all of these, well, which is really that one. If we get this much volume or lower, I'll probably enter. I would allow for a fake break of the bottom for the stop loss. At the very least, it would be that. Let's say 95, 90, 93. Not a big stop. Euro, come back. Let's see this dollar yen situation on the 5-minute. Yeah, it still looks like a weaker yen, doesn't it? Carlos, Chad, you're already in AJ and EJ. Okay, how important is it for all the pairs to be aligned? Aligned being that they are showing similar strength, weakness. It's a matter of just. It's not important that they're aligned, so to speak. It's important that the move that you're seeing that's going to make you take a trade is caused by the U.S. dollar or yen, depending on which one you're going to take here. Situation. If it's caused by the U.S. dollar and yen situation, then you should see similarities across them. If there's a setup happening on one and other ones don't have that pattern, then the cause of that setup is not the U.S. dollar or the yen. It's going to be the euro doing a pattern or something else. So I want to take a trade based on the dollar yen weakness, which is going to cause, just a similarity across the pairs. All right. That's kind of what I wanted. Let me open my platform at least on my phone. At least open my platform. AJ, huh? All right. I'm thinking about it. I said if volumes here are lower, then I'll probably get in. It's there. But if it's sitting here and testing, and then maybe we get an even lower volume on a break test continuation of AR, very textbook pattern. Owen Henry, yes. Now you understand. King, how are you? All right. So, for example, here we're talking about, okay, maybe I get in this. Now, if I was looking at this and the AU and the AJ all looked like potential entries, and then the other ones were just like somewhere else at the bottom or something, all the other ones, then you're like, okay, this is just an Australian dollar thing. That's the cause. Now, when you pair the right ones together, that's the best. All right, I like the low volume testing. I like that every pair, in some way or another, is looking like it wants to move up. All right, Euro, relax. Chill out. Take a breath. Scolding my child. Yeah. I wouldn't mind buying against the dollar, too. Now the dollar wants to come down. It wants to be weaker. It's going to bring the dollar pairs up faster. It's just kind of chopped now. It could go either way as far as right now. But we do have that weaker yen the last couple of days. But the euro is a perfect example. Again, this is so important. I don't mind repeating it, like how to see everything right now. The euro, everything's strong against the U.S. dollar and the yen, but the euro is strong on its own. So that's why this happens separate from the others. I think we had some euro news, right? And light stuff. whatever that was. I don't know. And if we look at, let's say, for example, euro versus Australian dollar, yeah, you got a little new high ground action going on. So there's some buying on the euro markup style for the moment. And it doesn't convince me that I need to be buying euro today or something. Whatever, coming back down. They can have fun with their euro, right? Much cleaner over here, much cleaner. I'm watching Star Trek Next Generation from the beginning, from back to the beginning again. Helps me fall asleep. Watch a few episodes. Data. They're all wrong size now. The one where Lieutenant Yar dies, man, that is just brutal. Fuck. That would have scared me when I was little, I'll tell you that. The black goo. Honestly, I'm glad she left the show. She was absolutely terrible. Hmm. Meanwhile, the ATM method, right? Am I right? I didn't think of calling it that until somebody in the Discord called it the ATM. I think that's what we're going to call it. So if you saw the last few videos, I'm kicking up the amount on that account. I can add to it. You know, this was like, let me work out the details of it before I go big. But price just won't come down for me to buy. So I made like another, I don't know what, 175 on Monday on that account. Just buying that dip. Everybody bought that dip, right? The day trading crypto guys, we all bought that dip, right? Okay. What was it? The Valentine's Day dip. But I'm ready to go bigger. I just, you know how it is. I don't want to go big up here. We're so high up. I need some panic. I go big when there's panic. Things will never be the same. That's when you buy. Elon Musk changed his mind. He doesn't like cryptos. He thinks they're terrible. Can we start a rumor? He's selling them all. All the coins. We need a cheap price out here. Can I get a low volume up here? What is going on? I like the pattern. I don't like that. I like the break test continuation, but the volume here, I'm going to buy right now into this. I don't know. Doesn't feel safe right now, does it? Not technically correct. I mean, yeah, it's that. I figured my YouTube channel would grow doing this stuff more on a regular basis, but nope. It's the same 1.5 subscribers a day on average. It doesn't change ever, whether I make a video or not. Whatever. Make some clickbait videos. I'll make a I lost everything video and then be like, just kidding. You clicked on the video. This one crazy trick will make you $1 million by tomorrow. This one crazy trick that brokers don't want you to know about. Should I make that the title to get views? This one weird trick that brokers don't want you to know. God. You know there's a video with that title. You know. And it has like 2 million views and it's total shit. Thanks, Dave. I don't want to think I'm great. I just want more people. It'd be cool if there were, 1,000 people in here right now. How I made $1 million in 1 week. Yeah, totally. That would get the clicks. I can do it. I hate that shit. Now, if I make $1 million in a week, I can do it. There's the answer. Moving average crossover. This moving average system is totally crazy and works. Exclamation point. Until the price goes into a range and you lose 12 trades in a row. The one trick your broker doesn't want you to know. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'm shadow banned. Maybe I said something wrong. In the land of free speech. Fat fingers. Yes, I knew what you meant. Is it go time? I am not convinced. It's not clear. It's not right. Automatic rally. London open spike, but this is 15 minutes before, and that entered the fib. So, okay. 618 overshoot. Whatever the heck that crap is. Nice low volume up here. And maybe some aggressive buying into this pop down, baby fib. Let's see if that holds up on the 1 minute. That's the story. Let me draw the old fib there and then get rid of it. Fib on fib with fib. Plus fib. Meh. I was hoping the volume would be right here. It's meh. These long entries right now are what? A B minus? Or we'll say from a scale of 1 to 10. 7.8. Not terrible, not great. Oh. We're doing weak US dollar. See, right now it looks like the dollar's weaker, but who knows? If the dollar bounces here, support resistance on the yen, you'll have a weaker yen if that bounces, and then the yen longs will work out better. Okay, I like that low volume there. Always comes back to the Australian dollar. And what happened with this guy? Fake break. Wow. Some selling. I'm so clickety clickety. Sorry. I need multiple monitors again, but then you wouldn't see. What is this guy going to do up here? Nice low volume on the previous candle leading to this break. Now, again, this was fairly confirmed to some extent by this point, except the volume was too high. We want to see lack of supply, lack of activity to higher prices. Now, finally, right, this guy dropped off here. And then this, if it goes into new high ground, especially if we can close up there and keep that volume low, then we're finally seeing, right, higher prices on low volume. I guess that's sort of a test of this right now. Almost. The secret to... Oh, God. You know, I could make clickbait titles if I back up the clickbait title. Like, most people don't know the secret about trading. And then I explain how the dollar and the yen drive the market 80% of the time. If you understand what they're doing, then you know what direction you're trading in and everything. Like, oh, okay. This one thing will totally help your trading. This one trick. I just got to follow up and follow through and deliver. All right, this is going to be low volume again here. Is it go time? Look at that volume. It's go time. It's go time. Which one? Which one? We go with the old faithful Australian dollar. I don't know which one to take, though. Oh, my God. Yeah, right. Which one do I say? I'm going to miss it. I can't decide. This one is technically like the spot, kind of nice. This one is moving better. I don't want to buy right into that level. How does it look? Okay, the volume's low. What am I? I'm on the wrong watch list. What is this? Popular. Oh, okay. All right, that's the low volume test there. Okay, okay. I like the low volume there. We're very likely to break it. Where's my stop on this thing? 25 pips puts me here. Okay, I can work off of that, give or take. Am I taking this? Let's see. Okay, at least it stopped for a second. Pound yen. Low volume there. Pop up off the fib. Man, this is tough to decide. And then I'm comparing the pound to the Australian dollar. That's not helping. Oh my God. What do you call it? Analysis-itis. Analysis paralysis. It's because the information is just a little muddy still. Come on. It's called patience. You should gather cans for a day, exchange them for nickels, open a trade account with the cash, and turn it into a... That's funny. and then tell everybody there's no excuse. Now there's no excuse to be broke. It's so strange, man. People are just like non-responsive when I tell them about cryptos. Like friends, people I've known for years. I'm like, this you can really do. Like if you weren't cut out for the Forex thing, fine. But I promise you, this is so easy. No stress. It's like they're just blank. A lot of times they don't say anything. I'm like, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm like, nobody's doing it. I don't know why. Like, why isn't anyone? And they're just quiet. Like, I can't figure it out, man. It's for real. It's like a non-compatible two programs that can't communicate. I'm telling you, the Matrix is weird right now. Are those meant to make money on cryptos and those not? I don't know. I'm going to shake them. Look, do you love your day job that much? All right. Oh, wow. What am I doing? All right, that AJ, huh? I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm trying to decide. Again, the high volume here is just what's making me kind of hesitant. It's not bad, though, really. This drop off here is nice. Pound yen. If the AJ pops over the high here, yeah, I think I'm going to get in. AJ's waiting for me, yeah. See, this is at the Australian dollar's dealing with that little test spot and this little test spot. I just, wish it was set up right lower, but here we are. Good morning. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. Is it just me? I mean, the swing trading on cryptos is probably the easiest way to make money on the planet right now. Even if we bounce between 30 and 40 for the next 6 months, you will make money. On Bitcoin, for example, it doesn't have to keep going. I don't understand. Do not understand. If you have that, if you run into that too, tell me. Cryptos feel so much easier, maybe because we don't have to think about it. I will tell you this though. Yes, there are some things that are easier in the way that I'm dealing with it. The percentage changes allow me to do the way I'm doing, like I showed in that video. Like that's my new thing now. Because I must say, in all my years of looking at charts, not that I trade like a million different markets, but I've never seen anything as clean as the crypto market is now. And don't forget, a year ago, it was not like this. 2 years, 3 years ago, it was absolutely not like this. It would sit there and not move, and you would have that low liquidity, ugly ass candles for 7 hours where nothing's going on, especially the other coins, you know. I remember what those coins looked like back in the day. Just that row of 1 minute candles just going nowhere, right? Or whatever time frame. For hours and hours and hours. So this is the cleanest thing I've ever seen in my life, the crypto thing, right now. I don't think it'll stay like that forever. I don't know. I feel like trading is changing. I feel like traders are maybe kind of taking more control too. And AJ, yeah, well, Shit. Where am I? Yeah, AJ, huh? All right, so I'm getting into the AJ trade here. I'm in the trade. If you're comfortable with it and you like it based on your own logic, you can also enter the trade. So I'm in the trade, AJ. I kind of just made a 25 pip stop kind of position. I know I didn't figure it out exactly, but first thing is obviously I want to just get it below this point beyond a fake break. So let's just throw it in there at 90. Plenty of room right now. 81.90. So I'm in the trade, AJ long. Setting my stop at 81.90. 26.8 pips. All right, not far off. As I say, I typically don't do like exact risk percentage mathematics. I just know how many lots I would go for a 25 pip stop, 25 to 30 pip stop, and I just, unless it's going to be a different size stop loss, I know that's my reference. And if I want to go half, I go half of that or whatever. But this is moderate size. I can certainly take another trade if something else sets up as well. But they're all kind of doing the same thing anyway together. So I've joined you guys who are already in. Crypto market is the cleanest, easiest. It's so cool. It's so great. I love it. You know, like charts, you know, I the way I look at charts, the way I want them to speak to me and tell me what's going on and communicate to me. I feel like the crypto, now that I got to know it, it communicates so well. It's like you have a question, you get the answer. So no messing around. Our buyer's going to show up here. Our seller's going to show up here. Are we going to get a bounce to this obvious level? And you just get your answer, and it does it. So I've never seen anything that clean. There's no days where it's just total shit because of like other markets where you're waiting for big news and it's late in the day or fucking non-farm and all that bullshit. It's just pure. It's like water. It's just pure. Right. Doesn't matter what day it is. Sunday night, make some money. Bam. Saturday night, whatever. It's the greatest thing ever. Look at that euro dollar. That might be a sign of things to come if the euro dollar, climaxes out on weakness and comes back down. It might be showing that we could be turning, but the euro's got its own deal right now anyway, right? That's kind of separate. Nobody else is doing that. New high ground right now. Well, that closed on a lot of volume. When did that happen? Right after I got in? But the very large buying here is part of the whole deal. And that's early in the day where you normally don't get that much volume. That's the highest volume of the day on that little candle. So you know that selling was bought into heavily. That's why it stopped. And then it did hold again. So to have the stop loss allow for that to be tested again, a fake break, and have it well below that here is very good. We don't have to take off now. And of course, it can test this level, do a fake break or whatever, just test it again. And if it has strength and an entry, I could add to it because I didn't go that big on this. Could always add to it at a better, lower price. or whoever else may set up to today. That fib is now wrong. Okay. I don't see how much weakness ends up off of that anyway. Fair amount of volume up there. Well, if we come down, there's still a good chance we're going to bounce off because it's just so much more buying than selling in this price area. What else? That's it. It's all these kind of okay, kind of. Some of them, actually, most of them did not confirm. This into new high ground. That's not terrible volume. You're going to get that stuff. Yeah, you might just have to be patient on these moves. Put on some music, roll a doobie. Where's the cryptos at? Oh. How nice. What time is it? Oh, it's Tuesday now. Okay, good. So for the moment, no other trade that I'm going to get into because they're all just worse looking versions of the AJ besides Euro Dollar, which is spazzing. We'll see what it ends up doing. So we'll take a look at the cryptos for now. Any questions on that? Let me know. See what we can. Throw on some music, roll a doobie. Yes, yes. I like simple things. Doobies, music, coffee, and money. Stupid. That's it. I'm good now. Decided to go for the simple life. I don't need fame. Who the hell wants fame? This guy said if you're raising a kid and they don't want to be famous, they have no desire to be famous, it's not a thing, then you should be applauded. Well done. Because that's what the world is telling them, and everything else isn't good enough. Okay. Where was I? So let's see the cryptos. So basically, I failed because she wants to be a big YouTuber. I hope you're bigger than me because I don't know. I ain't getting no subs. I'm getting lazy with putting ads on the videos. Also, it's kind of just, I know they're annoying. So I don't put ads on videos usually until they're out for a couple of weeks. Then I'll throw it on. It doesn't even matter. It's like $300 a year that I get for that. YouTube money. Cryptos? I gotta switch over. I'm doing it. All right. Where are we? Oh my God. Nobody listened to me. You guys listen to me. Shit, man. The Valentine's Day dip. I think people needed some money for dinner. That's what happened. Where do you want to eat? Oh, I gotta sell some crypto before we leave. Hold on. That was the Valentine's Day dip. Lobster. All right, give me a second. Sell. But I'm like, every time it dips, I'm like, okay, maybe this is the big one. There has been no big one. What was the last big one? The last time we actually got to accumulate properly was, okay, last month was completely accumulation. What am I talking about? The whole month was this accumulation stuff. Seems so long ago. Anyway, so what are we looking at? All the kids want to become a famous YouTuber. Yeah. I tried to explain some things to her. Yeah, right. Like it frickin' matters what I say. But I do it anyway. Maybe some of it registers. So, being famous doesn't like make you a happy person or anything. If anything, you may feel isolated and separate. There's a saying, it's lonely at the top. My wife was like, mm-hmm. I don't think she cared. So what are we talking about with the cryptos here? Because I'm in a Forex trade. There's nothing to do. They're all similar, so I'm not going to be getting into anything in the next, near future here. Maybe later on today. Something else. As far as the swing trading, yeah, I mean, it's just let it go, right? I haven't had much opportunity to buy. And, the 100 EMA as a marker for the swing trading, right? A lot of you know this, have the course. 100 EMA. That's based off of back testing, more or less, right? To the beginning of the existence of cryptos, practically. I really, really thoroughly wanted to find that average spot that makes it a good buy. And it was so on point that it was apparent that that's what they're using to some extent, some way to another, or it's the 100 EMA. And when you go back before this crazy run, which isn't going to go on forever, and then the 14 EMA is just like constantly the buy spot, constantly. Sorry, the 100. I'm going to say it wrong because that's right. These spots, and every time you go back, those are always the spots. Below it, you're below it, you're below it. That's when you're buying. But anyway. And, if you want to swing trade and start buying before you get to that, based on just the way things are behaving, I wouldn't say that's so terrible and wrong. But for me, I just want to go bigger on the day trading, so I really don't think about the swing trading. It kind of makes you more patient on it, right? Just don't even open the account until it's time. And if you see some imminent move, you can day trade it. Anyway, yeah, yesterday was another good day trade. What else? I wonder how many coins were exchanged for diamonds this month? What do you mean? Oh, Valentine's Day. Yes, yes. Oh, also the Valentine's Day dip. Yes, for the ring. Is that when you propose? You don't propose on Valentine's. Well, I guess you could. So again, I want to start going big on the day trading. I just want the dip that you know eventually is going to happen. When? I don't know when. And then you have stuff like this too, right? Where, you know, my method, I'm not really looking to buy right now with this to my left. Convince me, right? And I get that. All right, I guess. That's a lot of volume. That's a lot of weakness. Usually this goes on, you're trending down. You're doing a fib retracement of this whole move up. It's coming down off of that. You're not looking to buy until you really see some buy volume that can rival that. Or you get low and away from it and you start accumulating somewhere, right? So it's still just the nature of the way it is now. There's just so much buying of crypto right now that any down move is bought up like crazy, right? You all see it. It won't be like that forever. But again, it does stop me from buying larger, which is really what I want to do. I just got to go for it. I think that account I made like 2,000 in February on that 20,000 account where I'm just kind of doing small percentage, working out the details of it. Not much to talk about here unless there's any questions. Swing trading is hold, hold, hold. Day trading is, well, you just got a good one. You know, after the up move here, of course, I trimmed down my exposure. After the Valentine's Day dip and some of the profit, I trimmed it down. And so I got what I got now. If we go higher, we go higher with what I got. And if we come down, I'll buy more, if that's the right thing to do, says the chart. No questions? Okay. The ATM method. There won't be a course. Should I make a course on the ATM method? It's cool to see at least, right? Maybe inspiring for those who have not been able to pull things out on a regular basis. This has got to be the easiest thing ever. So I haven't made any deposits. The last deposits were just to top it off, to go from 10,000 to 20,000. And here's with the initial 10,000. So this was like after withdrawals and zero. I put in 10,000 and then another 10,000. And I haven't made deposits since February 3rd. So this is all by the end of the day or two, right? Whatever. A lot of these are 2 days. So today is the 16th. This was yesterday, 175. 14th was nothing. 12th was a big one, relatively. It's the ATM. It's your spending money. Right? I got to just start going bigger and stop waiting for the down move, right? Jeez. How's the AJ going? sitting there. Okay. All right, I'll switch back. How's the music roll, Doobie? All I can play is the indie music songs. Podcast time? It's already it's 4:19. You know what that means? It's almost 4:20. You know what that means? It means pound news in 10 minutes. Get your mind out of the gutter. I don't know. Yeah, let me see if I can find what is everybody doing on here right now? Should have taken the pound. Or not. Oh, the yen ones are coming down. Did you see that was tough to decide? Oh, that's breaking. We had weaker yen than US dollar. Now, if this is coming down, we're looking at a weaker dollar, but it's zigzagging, whatever. You do want to buy against the weaker one, which has been the yen the last few days. Let's see if I can find what was that guy's name? I hope I didn't lose it. Is this him? Hold on. Nah. Is this the guy? But basically what he was saying was that
So here's
is this him?
just kind of reflecting on it. It's a Sunday night show. Expedition Cafe.
Anyway, yeah, supposedly it's not stuff you it's early. Well, I usually plan 2 hours, so but there's not much to talk about now. Chart wise, trading wise, unless you have questions. But yeah, that is the plan, is that the cryptos are gonna be what they look like they're gonna be, what they're supposed to be. Like, you realize the threat that cryptos pose to the powers that be? They make the money. They literally make it. They can make money toilet paper if they want. They make it, and then you got to pay it back, plus extra. Those are the people who run the world, right? They literally make the money out of thin air and let you borrow it with interest. So, yeah, crypto's just completely puts them out of work. And with the way that the dollar, U.S. dollar, has been It's kind of in a slow crash. I think it's kind of starting to happen. There's your slow crash. I can't get any more history than that? Wow. That's all they're going to give me. But yeah. So we know what cryptos have looked like. This kind of looks like the same thing in reverse. So now you actually have the US dollar value and cryptos tied together, like for real now. Is what it seems to be. If they start trending together, then I'll be wrong. But I think we're there now, right? Possible. Possible. Until eventually the value of the dollar is very, very low, very weak. The buying power is very, very weak. And then it's all kind of on its way out. Like, why would you use it anymore? Crazy times. Oh, AJ. What are you going to do? Probably bounce off support. Unless baby fib buyers come in. Let's go, baby fib. 618 overshoot. But that's the deal. I'll have to find this stuff. We share. I could share it in the Discord somewhere. It's basically what I just told you, though. Maybe a little more detail about how it's going to work. I don't know. All right. Well, not much to do. If these are going to come down, then we'll see what goes on with buyers and management of the trade. Really has nothing to do, though, at this point. Should we do a pump and dump? Who's in? Who's in on a crypto pump and dump right now? Got to do it at the right time. Who's with me? I'll put on... We got to find something small. OXT is growing a little bit. Let's do a pump and dump and mess up everybody's RSI. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Sarcastics. big Bitcoin USD crash, then politicians warning of its danger, forcing regulations, then banning altogether like China. No! You know they're planning it all out right now. It's the devil's money. I don't know what they're going to come up with. But I have heard, like, you know, their early attempts at defining for the normies, defining them for them what it is. It's for shady business. It's for the dark web. Oh, Bitcoin, that's all illegal stuff. Then I think to myself, every time I see something illegal, it's actually USD. That's pretty much all the illegal transactions I see. It's US dollar. What? That's okay? That's dark web currency, yes. Ridiculous. Oh, yeah. Only criminals need privacy, right? What are you worried about unless you're doing something wrong, Chad, okay? Otherwise, you have no privacy. That should be fine with you, unless you're doing something wrong. Yep, that argument. I'm not doing very much analysis today. I don't know. I got a bunch of YouTube videos. People can learn. Every session's different. What can I tell you? Usually we're just sitting here, saying, okay, we're just going to understand what's going on in the chart for learning's sake and analysis. And if a trade pops up, it pops up. Today, a trade popped up, and now we're not really talking. Every time's different. Jonathan, yeah. You really want the answer to that? Okay. It sounds like such a bad answer, but I guess it depends how I word it. But first of all, no, I don't. Wait. I think of it as this. If I'm adding on the way down, I want to add as low as possible, obviously. When I really feel like it's low. And if you're waiting for that, that wouldn't be as low as possible, right? So it's as low as possible. And then you're balancing it out with once you're confident there will be a bounce. So that's kind of the approach. And you more just kind of watch the behavior. And if you hit a key level of support or whatever, if you're just having, some fairly severe drop in the last 15, 20, 30 minutes on cryptos, and then suddenly they all hit that very high volume and stop, and the next candle closes green, I'm going to add something. But I do it in small bites, right? And then, so let's say that confirms. Basically, it's the two candle pattern confirmation of strength. And I can look at the orders, the order book. I can just kind of like take in whatever information I can. I don't feel like I need to go outside Coinbase. It's been fine as far as volume. So trying to get the lowest price possible, but at the same time, not buying as it's falling. You're looking for some sort of strength confirmation, and then I'm buying in bites. Now, let's say I do that, right? It confirms strength after a drop. It's a big pop in volume with a green candle to follow, right? Like the Valentine's Day dip, the usual stuff. So then I'll add to it on that. And then I'll see how it's behaving from there, and I may add more, or I may not. There are even cases where, again, this is why it's like not really going to be a course. I might do something where I trimmed, like I'll buy in that case, let's say, right? And you confirm strength and you're starting to move up, and then the next candle is closes higher now again on really low volume, meaning there's not much supply, then I might buy a little bit more. Right? Yeah, and then now let's say, just talk about scenario. Now after those two candles, bam, it drops again. It goes into a new low all of a sudden, right? Now if that new low better show buying, or else I could even thin that out again a little bit. That hasn't really happened, but I'm just kind of being hypothetical about how I'm able to just adjust on the fly as to what's going on. Shaflix, yes. Yeah, I figured that's what you're doing. Seems like there's usually no selling for the AR2. Yeah, well, it's so clean that typically once the buyers come in, it's like the sellers see it and they're all just like, okay, I respect you buyers. You can have it now. Very respectful market. But it's it's a like I say, it's a readjustment of your exposure based on. Now, on top of that, which is, it's like almost like swing trading shoved into day trading. Like you're swing trading in a day, right? It's kind of what it is. But then at the same time, right? And you see those positions, it's like $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, per coin, right? As far as the low risk on that account that I've been doing, working off of that. Now, there'll still be some trades where I buy $3,000 worth, and I'm actually taking a regular trade at the same time. And I just wanted to do all this separate from my swing stuff, just completely separate. And what else can I do in the short term? So now while that's going on, I might see a really good high probability situation that in the next 30 minutes, we're moving up. The next 45 minutes, we are moving up. Then I'll actually buy $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 of. Now I haven't done this that much, but I have been doing it. And really, it's when the chart says it's really safe. There's no pressure. And then I'll make, bam, okay, there's a quick something. And then I'll trim that back down to where it's supposed to be after that. So I'll go big compared to what I have for a really like regular sort of trade that lasts maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. And then I'll trim it back down to where it's supposed to be. So there's even it's like shoving swing trading into a 24-hour cycle. And then on top of that, scalping. But you guys who have been trading, John, you know what I'm saying. You know everything I'm saying. You guys who know my stuff, you know why this all makes sense. And to be doing it now in this market the way it's behaving, you see it. A FIFO rule? What's that? And as I've been saying, man, don't short the thing. Maybe in like 2027, I'll be shorting cryptos, but I ain't doing it now. Do not short. I've said that from the beginning. I'm only buying, only buying. Grace, okay, cool. First in, first out? I don't even know. Is that, does that have to do with like when the orders come in and who gets filled? In the order that they get filled? I really don't even know what that is. I assume it has something to do with how you get filled? I'm not sure. You know me. I know what I know, and there's plenty I don't know, but that's fine. As long as it works. AJ, what you gonna do at support? Oh. Oh, 9 pips from my stop. How exciting. I know you guys were, a lot of you were already in this trade. There's going to be buyers here. If not, so be it. See, there's the 1 minute. That's why the stop is here. That's why it's allowing for the fake break. The 1 minute says, yeah, there's going to be buyers here. Yeah, they're here. If it breaks through, I wouldn't even want to deal with any further drawdown. You know, that would be it. So 90 is plenty of room. Plenty of room. It's almost too much room. But that's fine. My risk is not big. But there it is again. There's a minute left on this candle, right? So if this volume, right, let's say it's up here. And then we have this volume off the low. This is London open, so that's going to be high volume, but that was not. That was 15 minutes before. Of course, this volume off the low. So we're aligned with them. If it breaks through here, there's a lot of long positions that are not going to be happy. Maybe they'll buy low or let it come down, but yeah, I don't want to deal with all that drawdown. I would just get out. That's fine. Oh, you're talking about that. Yes. With your platform. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. In cryptos? Wait a second. That would be if you're using a broker, though. This is straight up exchange. So, that doesn't really apply, does it? But, I mean, the answer would be no, right? No way. So if we bounce off of here, now, of course, if we break and we hit 90, I'll take the loss. If we bounce off of here and we get an entry confirmation, then I can add to the position. Because, again, I just don't go big on my first position. So I can take another trade or I add to it or whatever. And if things go nuts, then I'll just take the small loss and that's fine. But adding to it here on a confirmation for entry, considering how everything behaved, considering this amount of volume off the low, yeah, I probably would if we, of course, get the low supply test and maybe get a confirmation into this area. What are the other ones doing? Kind of go nuts. What's up with the pound? Okay. Not the cleanest thing today, huh? Euro took off, hit all that weakness, and now look at this chop. This is, right, it's new high ground, and of course you hit selling. Buying, though, look at the test. So active. So buying and selling, both very active here. That's just choppy and hard to, right? There's no high probability outcome right now for that. Now, if this was low volume down here, high volume weakness, followed by lower stuff here, then you're likely coming down. But buyers and sellers both very active. You got some chop, no imbalance there where you very often would get an imbalance, right? Off of fake break stuff. Pound a little choppy. But here we have the buyer protection. See what goes on. Should have taken the AU, huh? Shit. And what else? But yeah, that doesn't exist. Not at all. To answer that question. I want just like a big fat dip on the crypto so I can just load up. By the way, just saying. Indexes? It's not really necessary. Not really necessary. Again, today, which is a typical day, you see everything looking bullish against the dollar and the yen, so we know those are in downtrends. The dollar index and the yen index. The yen has been weaker, so especially the yen index, which I don't even have up. I haven't looked at, but I can tell you it has a strong down move last couple of days. But yeah, I kind of get the sense from it's all based on this anyway. It's just automated, so to speak. But strength is only determined by comparing to other things. There's no absolute value of a currency. It's only relative that you get a value. So I don't mind just doing it visually. I kind of like it that way. Doesn't hurt though. Also, I feel like the indexes are good to tell you what's been going on, but as far as what you really expect to happen, those things could change. I don't think the indexes might be as clear as just regular pairs. Maybe. You made a Pete's pairs index today with volume. What? Really? With volume. That's interesting. You got a screenshot or something? You could share it in the Discord. You made a thing? There's Amar here. Amar, can I have a word with you? He's not here, is he? Okay, if you want to. Cool. Oh, what did I just click? Headed to the lounge. Okay, cool. Any new people in here? You could join the Discord server. Is that what you call it? A server? I'll give you the link. I'll put it in the video description too. Okay, let's see. Where did you send it? Crypto Lounge? No, you sent it to the lounge. Let's see. Fancy stuff. Composite pair. Wow. Composite. That's cool. So this picture is what? The blue ones? What would this picture be of AJ and Pound Yen? Or the red ones? I don't know. Interesting. All right, well, AJ found a lot of volume off the low. It's buyer protection. And I may be adding to the trade on a no supply here. Add a little bit. It's, that would be give or take, you know. Depending where I could also move my stop up too after that. Maybe to 93 or 4, trim down the risk a bit. We already had the fake break. We could do more though. But this is the big test now, right? If we can get to this 14 EMA, the sooner the better. And then just chill out and see that volume drop off. Then our trade is actually better than it was when we first got in, right? The red and blue part is something else. Track the relative strength and weakness between the pairs. Oh, okay. So the actual candles is something else. Pop up. How are you? I want AJ to pop up. Okay. Oh, so the red and blue part is something else. Gotcha. Pound yen setting up. Yeah, and that's a possibility rather than adding on a confirmation here. That I could go on something else. Let's see that. What level is that back there? That's to the pip. Oh, that's the yeah, previous resistance turn support. Confirming potentially if we can come back up here soon. The fake break and then potential entry off of that. Yep. That is nice, yeah, because you got all the buying there. It is London Open, but still. That wasn't. Fake break. This buying is perfect. Nice. Good enough, at least. So, I like fake breaks to confirm quickly. Those tend to be the highest probability. The longer you hang out down here. But really, this is the key level anyway to stay above, right? Or if you touch it, you get jump off from buyers. Pop up for London. So, all good here. Let's see if we come up. Low volume test there. And this guy. As we get here and hopefully get to the 14 EMA soon. The lower, the better on the volume. So if we have this high volume here and we can drop off, see some low stuff again in this area now, it actually improves the trade quality. If it was an 8 out of 10 when I got in, then that'll make it a 9, right? I'm thinking of your name now every time I say pop up. Pound is also a little wacky. I don't know. It just has to clean up. Yeah, the pound yen is fine. Pound dollar is weird. This is perfectly fine. What else? EJ, 618 overshoot. Okay. So you get it? You get what's going on? Everybody understands what's going on? That no indicator will tell you? The market is asking the question, is this the low of the day? Is this it? Are we done with the down move? It's time to mark up. So that question is being answered right now. As far as those pairs, obviously, euro dollar, pound dollar aside. But the overall bullishness, are we going to start marking up from here? We're at good, normal, low prices. Nothing extremely low, nothing out of the ordinary, but decent low prices. And the buyers are showing up. Is this it? Are we going? And the last thing to ask is, do we have a lack of supply so we can start marking up? Eventually, when we have enough in my YouTube channel, if my YouTube channel wants to ever grow, I don't know what YouTube wants from me at this point. What do you want? This video will make you $1 million, I promise you, if you click on it right now. So, anyway, the point is, I want to do some pump and dumps, man. It's legal. Remember we were talking about this in the live sessions? Like what, 4 months ago, 5-6 months ago, we were saying, can we do this? Is this allowed? I'm Googling it. And then the GameStop thing happened and all that. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why people didn't do this sooner. I figured it was illegal or something. That's why nobody does it. And then finally people are doing it now. Now imagine if we had 1,000 people in here, 2,000 people. We did a pump and dump on cryptos. Someone has to direct everybody. I guess that would be me. Has to direct the mob, the crowd. And really we would start buying into down moves. Because you got to kind of get your pre-positions in first. Step one, right? It's the same thing. And then when you see lack of supply, you pounce and you go for the markup. So, it's a little version of smart money. Yeah. That's probably right now the main reason why I would want a lot of people. Because it would just be so fun. Crazy. How fun would that be? People could kind of, talk about what they're willing to commit, what they're willing to put in, and then we'll see realistically what we can do. Oh, really, John? Okay. That's stupid. That's really stupid. But you're asking, so you're not sure. But that sounds about right. Because, he's not in the club. The club where you're allowed to do these things. I would like to talk to a lawyer before orchestrating a large-scale pump and dump. Yeah, I probably should. You're in? Okay, good. Let's see what happens to the GameStop guy who started this all. Right? That'll be the precedent for these things. Let's see what happens. I mean, it shouldn't be illegal. A free market is a free market. And this stuff is done all the time. It's called smart money. Hello? Different rules for thee than me. You know what I'm saying? That's not a free market. And of course, right, the clincher, Robinhood. It's not like you only trade GameStop on Robinhood. Why Robinhood? Because that's all the little guys. The other stuff was okay, right? All of them. They couldn't get out. They couldn't get their money. They couldn't further drive smart money into drawdown. They were stopped. They turned it off. That's crazy. They could only do it to us, right? There was pump and dump groups on Discord, but it's a scam since they don't release the coin name until the last minute. So they release the coin name they have already bought. Yes, I heard about that. And they dump it on everyone else. Yes, exactly. Right. And should that be illegal? I don't think it should. A fool and his money, as the saying goes. A fool and his money are easily parted. So, whatever. Learn the hard way. I don't know how you would even enforce that. It would get crazy without tracking everybody and what they're doing. Which of course they're doing anyway. But, yeah, that's wrong. That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. You want everyone involved in the pre-positioning that's going to be marking up later. Right. And then you have to sell off in an organized way, not everybody at once. It's a little complex, but not really too much, right? Chad could figure it out for us. Chad put together the plan. It's like whoever got in later at a worse price would now have the advantage as far as being able to get out sooner, right? I would want to make it fair. Can we make it as fair as possible, right? So those who weren't, or who joined it, that sort of stuff. Do it the other way around and try to make it actually fair. So the ones who got the best price are the last to get out, right? Things like that. I don't know. Makes sense to me, right? I don't know if it would all come together. All right. I'll end the session soon. Anything else? Let me know. Talk about any questions. Chad can make a bot for us. Ooh, that's scary. That is some complex shit. So, Chad would make this bot, right? We already committed you to this, Chad. The easiest way would be to set up a network of slave accounts and you just control. Yes, what I was going to say, right? So it just does everything, right? But there has to be somebody at the controls. Some discernment has to be used in exactly how to go about it and when to do it, and when to start this phase and when to start that phase and when to start getting out to some extent. Well, we're basically, that's interesting though, a network of slave accounts. But see, if you're talking about a bot or something like that, would actually have timed trades or something. I don't know. The thing is, when you're doing this, I mean, it's a whole thing. It's a whole huge thing. A lot of stuff to talk about. But would you mind sending a fresh link to the Discord group? It says it's expired. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know it expires. My account is the master account. See, the thing is, how much you buy. Let's say we're in markup. We're trying to push the price up. It's not just, well, let's throw everything at it. It's how. Now, if we're doing it in cryptos, obviously it's better than Forex because you can see the orders above you. You can see as price is going to get. You can see, at the next tick up, there's 1,200 of these coins, right? So you have to hit 12 or higher in order to tick price up there. You got to take all the supply from that price. Then you'll get the price. Which I've done regularly when I'm scalping and when I'm trying to mark up my own position. So sometimes you see a real lack of supply. Really low. And I'm waiting with my finger on the mouse. It's fun. And I click and bam, bam, bam. It pops up, 3 ticks, 3 prices. And I just blew through that very low supply. So, point being, right? You have, if you want to make an effective markup, you have to deal with that. You also could see that, well, there's just too much up there, and it's time to stop. It's a whole thing. I don't know. Between me trying to organize people to do it and Chad figuring out the mechanics of it, maybe it's possible. I just wish I had more people. 1,000 people doing this, Put $500,000 into OXT. You know what that thing's going to do? It's going to fly. And we pre-position first. Would you mind saying? Oh yeah. So let me get that. So I have to. Okay, so that's something I learned today. Let me check that and just see. So the Discord invites expire over time. I guess the link changes after a few days or something. Let me see. Which means I have to get the link off of Discord on my phone and then email it to myself and then go to my email and get it and then post it. I could do this all on my phone right now. Okay. Let me just do that. Okay. So really, anybody hearing my voice, join the Discord chat. You will like it. Let's make it big. Do some pump and dumps. As long as nobody's going to jail for it, we'll make sure. All right. So, the invite link. Copy. Now on my phone, I go to this live stream. Go to the chat. My phone's not giving me the chat. Why? Where's the chat? Watching the live stream on my phone, I don't get any chat. There's no chat. It's weird. Alright, I'll have to email it to myself. 1 second. Yeah, I would say if Chad wants to very graciously possibly look into it, then we might end up doing something like that. Consider it. If it's too much work, you know, if it's too much, don't even worry about it. If there's a simple way, maybe we can do it. If we got 4 people involved, it's not going to work. Members can also send the link. Yeah, thanks, guys. No, just go ahead. Just sit back. I got it. You don't have to wipe the barbecue sauce off your fingers and everything. It's okay. I got it. Okay, there you go. Oh, you're not allowed to put links in YouTube chat. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, there you go. I sent it. It's in the chat. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. You guys were trying to do it. No, it didn't show up. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, yeah. So you guys were trying. Okay. Well, thanks for trying then. I guess that would make sense. So you can't spam links in somebody's live stream. Yeah. Okay, there you go. All right, what else? Nick is in. Yeah, I mean, a handful of people say they're in. I'll say, Chad and Carlos, if you want to kind of look in, if you feel like it. If you don't, that's really fine. Just be like, nah, I don't feel like doing it. But if you want to kind of consider take a look at what would have to be done, how much work it is, if it's really feasible. And then, oh, I forgot the music was on. My volume's down. Then, yeah, let us know. Oh, yeah. I recorded this song this was a singer-songwriter up in my barn, converted into a recording studio. In Ulster County, New York. Not where I live, but... And that was a fun time. Good song. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, so I'll put it out there. If anybody has any ideas about how it should work, how to contribute, if it makes any sense to do, if it's not too much work, whatever. And if possible, we'll see. All right. What's up with the charts? We're sitting here. Can we get a test? Well, these guys don't want to test. Yeah, okay. Pound yen. Yep. Pound yen has a nice little pop again, right? Which I talked about. If we're, we should stay. If we're gonna go here, we got to see the buyers and come back as soon as possible. And we got that. That's like the highest volume in a little while, or at least matching it, give or take, depending on your broker. But it should be pretty high. So this becomes a test area. Of course, 14 EMA, and that's a bit lower. It's going to get pulled down. So certainly by here, if you're seeing low volume into this area, then that's going to be confirming the entry there. Where are we on this? Yep. So that's cool. And again, I didn't go too big on the AJ, so I'm able to take, if the pound sets up here, and who knows if the euro is going to like have a climactic reversal situation later today. That's possible. Things may reverse later. Who knows? Not a big news day at all. So tomorrow I think is big, the U.S. stuff, right? Tomorrow. And maybe the U.S. dollar will finally turn. Or not. The U.S. dollar goes to 0 and Bitcoin goes to $1 billion. That's fine too. Into the future. All right, guys. Slave accounts. So that would mean, I don't know. No idea. It's all your department. If you're like, this is just unrealistic or it's too much work or whatever, that's fine. I know I keep saying that, but I don't want you to feel like pressured. If it's fun, you make money without pumping and dumping. Yeah, see if the pound sets up. Pound yen. Keep an eye on that. All right, guys. You have the EAs already for MT4? Okay. Well, if you get a basic idea of how it would work and everything, and then explain it to us, maybe on Thursday. I would have to like get a lot of people. I would have to like announce this and give a date that we're going to do it. Hopefully there's not like a rival person out there that's going to like short against us. Does that make sense? It's very weird. ICT. All right, guys. Gavin's going to take us out. You wouldn't want to short against that, though, would you? You want to short on the dump. All right, guys. I'm actually working out some EAs on MQL5. Cool. All right, you guys know that stuff. I have no idea. You know me. I know what I know, and then there's all that other shit. I have no freaking idea. I don't know what half of these coins do. I don't know what any of them do. I just know I can make money off it. So thank you for your knowledge. Let me know what you guys come up with. You can talk in the Discord. All right, cool, guys. So I'll probably do it Thursday. That's the plan. See you in the chat. All right, guys. Have a good one. See ya. Happy trading.